It's ninja time! What's up and welcome finally to the Super 7 2003 Ninja Turtle figure review. Let's get into it.
4 turtles, mutated beyond recognition. For 15 years, the brothers hid in the sewers, training in the ancient ways of the ninja. But the welcoming committee isn't quite what they expected. Don't miss the world premiere of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So I snagged mine from the Big Bad Toy Store, and looking at the packages for these figures, I mean, I was already impressed because they definitely take inspiration from those original 03 figures. These are the reissues that I'm comparing them to, but you get the idea. They definitely went for that kind of vibe. Super 7 always seems to nail it with their packaging, and they definitely didn't miss here. That new figure smell.
Whoa.
And miniature shout out for freaking Super 7 for understanding that we don't need a million of these little wires to lock in a figure. Just one around the chest, and that's all it took. But then getting an actual full-on look at Leonardo, I mean, you really see how animation accurate they went with these figures. Makes me so hyped to see. I've always wanted a figure just like this, an articulated, animation accurate 03 figure. So looking at some of the accessories for Leonardo, you've got the closed fist, the open hand, you've got his alternate head, which is really cool, straight from the cartoon, the T-phone, which is amazing. Someone please make a life-size version of the T-phone from 03. Then you've got his swords. Of course, they look great. They do look a little bit white though. Now taking a look at Donatello, I mean, again, just straight from the freaking cartoon. I might run out of ways to say that, but just looks so freaking good out of the packaging. And when you take a look at some of the accessories, a lot of them are actually the exact same as far as the hands and the T-phone go, but you do of course get his alternate head straight from the cartoon. And then you've got his little goggles that he would use to work on things like the turtle man and everything. Very cool. And then of course his bow staff looks really clean. Paint app on the bow staff is really nice. Then of course Raphael looking mean again, straight from the freaking cartoon, which is awesome to see. But what is disappointing about Raphael is, same with Leonardo, he just kind of has the standard accessories. Outside of the hands and the T-phone, he just has his alternate head and of course his sai, which his sai again are white. They're not silver or gray like a metal would be. Very weird paint app choice.
This is some nice steel. How about telling me who gave them to you?
Your mama.
And then, of course, my favorite turtle, Michelangelo. Looking animation accurate, so amazing again. Got the standard accessories as far as the hands and the T-phone and his alternate head. Then you've got his nunchucks, which have the chain, so they actually whip around. The coolest accessory, I think, is 2 of the whirling nunchaku to make it look like his nunchucks are actually spinning in action. I've only ever seen a figure with 1, so that was amazing to see. And then looking at the crew all together, I mean, like, some of my favorite figures I have now, for sure. Definitely some 03 bias in there. I love this show so much, so to see animation accurate figures like this is a dream come true. Comparing them to some of the previous figures we've had, it's definitely a bit taller than the 80s turtles from NECA and a little bit taller than the Super 7 Playmates Ultimates, and then a little shorter than the NECA movie turtles. But next to all the other ones, I mean, they definitely have their own type of vibe and really do feel like they just come straight out of that 03 show. And now getting into probably the biggest selling point of these figures was the articulation, those double joints. Gonna be showing it on Leonardo because he actually has the best joints out of all the figures I received. So you got that ball joint at the base of the neck and the top of the head. So that gives you great poseability with that, gives you a good look up, look down, a lot of range of motion in the neck and head. Then you've got that shoulder, then the single elbow and the double jointed elbow. Very cool. and then of course a full 360 at the shoulder and forearms. Then getting down to the legs, you've got a nice spread. You've got that single jointed knee and then that double jointed knee for that extra poseability. A nice pivot for posing, an up and down range on the foot, of course, and then just even a little bit of an ab crunch, just a little bit. So the poseability on these are definitely really, really good. And when the figure is in nice condition, such as my Leonardo, feels good to play with. But when you get to figures like my Mikey, as you can see, the left knee looks really nice, but then that right knee, you get that single joint. And then if I try and go for that full double joint action, it feels like I'm literally gonna break my figure, which I do not want to do. So that does hurt to see. And then just some stiff joints overall for some of the figures. I'm sure as I pose them more, they will start to loosen up, but just a little stiff. Finally, my final thoughts on the figures. I think they're absolutely incredible, and when they are in perfect condition, such as my Leonardo, they feel amazing in hand. They obviously can get in some of the most dynamic poses I've ever seen out of a turtle figure, which is so freaking awesome. But for $55, it is kind of tough really seeing the lack of accessories. For most of these guys, you just get an extra head, the phone, 2 other sets of hands, and then obviously their weapons. The only really extra accessories that came with it all was Donnie's glasses right here, and then 2 pairs of the whirling nunchaku, which amazing. The only figure I know of that comes with 2 of the whirling nunchaku, so I was really hyped to see that. For $55 and there being a lack of accessories for all the bros, and then with some of the troubles with quality control on these figures. Obviously Michelangelo is my favorite turtle. You guys see the turtle head in the back, so him not being able to pull off the most dynamic pose like I can with some of the other guys kind of pisses me off. And then also when you look at some of the different heads and just pieces on the weapons and stuff, you have some really bad paint apps. It's just kind of unfortunate to see for such an expensive figure. Most of the paint applications are good, but when you really start to look at them, you see problems pretty quickly. But seeing all of these guys standing here before me is just incredible, because I mean, I'm sure like most of you, this is my definitive iteration of the Turtles. This is the Turtles that put me on and made me such a big fan, dived into everything else, and now I'm a super fan of the entire franchise. But these guys are what set it off. I've always envisioned a figure like this because, I mean, like I said earlier in the video, we've always had stuff like these. It's cool, it's classic, you know, it's Playmates, it's awesome, but nothing beats a just perfectly cartoon accurate representation of these turtles. So if that's what you're looking for, I mean, you cannot go wrong. When we get the Shredder and the Foot Soldier, Splinter and Casey in the next wave, I mean, this set is going to look even better when you can really pose them fighting against some people. But right now, just as a 4, it doesn't get much better than this. I probably will be ordering me a new Mikey, but all in all, definitely some of my favorite figures in my collection. And I've seen a lot of people complain about the double joints and seeing how they're exposed. I was actually one of those people, especially on the KC that's upcoming. To see them here now and really get to fiddle with them kind of changes my whole perspective on it. I actually really enjoy it. I'd like to see more turtle figures with it, just maybe pulled off a little better. Less issues would make these almost flawless. Really great job from Super 7. I can't wait to see the rest of the line, and I know they're gonna kill it. Comment down below if you've picked these guys up. Let me know what you think of the video. And then if you're a turtle fan, this is exactly where you need to be. The Nostalgia Show. All we talk about here is turtles, and turtles. So you should be subscribed right now. Peace.